Page 72. One of them classical ditties. I'll be going right for the most problematic sections of this piece, and that is starting in measure 10. That's the second measure of the B section. In measure 10, a shift takes place from the fifth eighth note to the high E minor chord. So let's look at measure 10 itself. We start on 5 and 4 on second and first strings, up to 10 and 9 on second and first strings. Here's where the shift takes place. You are now at your index finger on first string 9th fret. After the rest, you have to shift your ring finger to the first string 9th fret, form a 3-note E minor chord. It's in the A minor shape way up at frets 8 and 9, and you pluck the chord. So let me count off the B part. We'll play measure 9 and 10. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Shift. Now I'm going to skip ahead to measure 15 and 16. From the last 3 notes in measure 15 to the first note of measure 16, there is another sudden shift to be aware of. At the end of measure 17, you pluck a bar A minor chord. Then shift up 2 frets to get to the B minor in measure 18. So that's a lot of stuff to take in. Let's break that down. First, from the last 3 notes in measure 15, let's find measure 15. It's the second to last measure of the B section. And we want the last 3 notes of it. That would be 4 on the first string, 5th fret on the second string, and open 5th string. Those 3 notes are the last 3 notes of measure 15. The shift occurs with your index finger going to second string, 7th fret on measure 16. The index finger makes another shift at the end of measure 16 to the 3rd string, 4th fret. So let's play measures 15 and 16 and watch out for these index finger shifts specifically. Measure 15. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Shift. Shift mid, index, mid, open, shift index, over to 3rd string, 4th. Now we'll break down what I was saying about measure 17 and 18. These are the first 2 measures of the C part of the song. First, I'll play measure 17. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Right here, you're going to pluck an A minor bar chord, and that is barring the 5th fret. Add your pinky. What used to be a bar C chord at 5th fret, if you add your pinky, turns it into an A minor chord form. Now, once you're at that A minor chord, you just shift it up for measure 18. And instead of plucking it right away, you pick through it So now your bar is at 7, your pinky is at 9. Then you pluck the full B minor chord. So here is measure 17 and 18. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. There my pinky shifts up one more fret for measure 19. Measure 20 is a bit of a knuckle buster, getting that ring finger down on the 4th string, 9th fret. That's on the 5th note of measure 20. So here is measure 20. It's that same B minor bar we were at a moment ago, where you're barring 7th fret. The pinky is at the 1st string, 9th fret, and you're picking through that B minor bar. So I pick through that chord, B minor. Here's your knuckle buster. Your ring finger has to come over to the 4th string, 9th fret, and then a pluck on the upper 2 strings. If you have trouble holding that ring finger in place, you can lift it quietly and do your pluck of the final notes of the measure. So here is measure 20. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ring finger, double note. The final chord of the tune in the final measure, at the end of the final measure, is an F shape way up at 15th through 17th frets. So it's an F-shaped chord that would put it at fret-wise from 3rd, 2nd to 1st strings, 16, 15, 17. For that, I fret it with my middle at 3rd string 16, my index at 2nd string 15, and my ring finger at 1st string 17, and you pluck it. The challenge is getting back to measure 17 quickly enough to continue the tune. So let's play measure 24 back into 17 for the repeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. There's measure 17. And now, on the next track, we'll do our slow playthrough of one of them classical ditties.